Part 2. The Flies. Black screen. It's a similar shot to the beginning of the film. You see a time-lapse sunrise. It rises over the same house, same swimming pool. There's some establishing shots of the house in which we see that the glass window, or the glass door, is fine. It's not shattered or anything. There's no sign of blood, no sign of struggle or anything. Lindsay. There's a shot of Lindsay's bedroom. And slowly up into the frame, she comes forward, looks at the camera. Her hair's coming down over her face. There's a fly on her lip, and it buzzes off. Pans slowly over. She turns and looks. Sitting in the doorway is the axe that she used to destroy the paintings from before. Hard cut. The axe is in the foreground, and she is in the background, out of focus. Everything is focused on that axe as she paces back and forth in the background on her phone. She calls up her aunt first and says that she'd like to apologize for yelling at her aunt. She would like to come over, and she would prefer it to be private just because she's really sorry. And the aunt says, "Oh, I'm not expecting anybody today. It's just me over at the house. You can come over anytime." And she's like, "Oh, I'll come over just this morning." And it's like, "Oh, it's all right, sweetie. It's okay." And hangs up. Second call, she gets the answering machine for her family. She leaves a message saying, I'm so sorry for how I've treated you guys, and apologizing profusely, and asking if they can ever forgive her, and if they would please come over to her house this evening, if possible, and so that she can apologize to them and they can have a big family dinner. And she hangs up. And she walks over to the axe. She picks up the axe. And the camera doesn't follow her, but we hear her walk down the hallway, down the stairs, out the front door. The door slams. Car door opens, closes. The camera slowly goes up to the window, just as we see the car start and drive away. She turns on the radio. It just so happens that there's a song playing by a band called the Vogues. It's called 5 O'Clock World.
Every morning just to keep our job, I gotta find my way through the hustle and mob. Sounds of the city pounding in my brain while another day goes down the drain. But it's a 5 o'clock world when the whistle blows. No one owns a piece of my time, and there's a 5 o'clock for me inside my
She's at her aunt's house. She knows the security number for the gate. She pulls up the long driveway. It's a very nice, opulent house. She doesn't go in through the front door, but instead she uses her knowledge of the numbers to open up the garage. And she steps out of the car. She has the axe with her. And in a single shot, a continual shot from behind her looking over her shoulder, we watch as she strolls into the house. We hear from upstairs, "Lindsay? Is that you?" She keeps walking. She's approaching a spiral staircase now. "Lindsay? Is that you, dear?" She stops, waits, continues up the staircase as quietly as she can. I must be going crazy. "Lindsay, you can just come up. It's okay, dear." Lindsay keeps going. She proceeds down a hallway towards where her aunt's bedroom is. The aunt's door opens. The aunt pokes her head out, about to call Lindsay's name, sees Lindsay with the axe, screams, slams the door shut. Lindsay comes running forward as fast as she can, brandishing the axe, slam, into the door, nearly splinters it off of the hinges, brings it back. It's just like The Shining, slam, again on the door. But Lindsay is talking. She's saying, "My lovely baby doll, baby darling, I'm home," slam. She smacks it down onto the doorknob of the door and nearly knocks it completely off. It breaks splinters the wood. The lock mechanism is nearly broken. When she brings back the axe, you can hear the screams of the aunt from inside of the room. Lindsay shouts out, you said you were going to come and get me. You said 10 years, and then it's my turn to feel beautiful. It's my turn to feel beautiful. It's my turn to feel beautiful, but where were you?" Bam! She breaks the lock, clutters to the ground. The door, she kicks it open. The aunt is sobbing inside. She's saying, "No, I didn't forget. I didn't forget. Randy, love, I didn't forget. I didn't forget." Lindsay picks up a bit of the door mechanism, tosses it into the room. Bang! Bang! The aunt has a gun, a pistol, and she had pulled out. She shoots. Lindsay laughs a little bit and says, "If you love me so much, then why are you shooting at me, baby doll?" She picks up another bit of the door mechanism, throws it in. Bang! The aunt is concerned. The aunt is sobbing. Sobbing sounds a lot like laughter. I just thought that was interesting. Lindsay rushes in with the axe. The aunt had been trying to open up the window. She brings over the gun, sobbing hysterically. Bang! Completely misses. The axe comes down. We pan up to the ceiling before we see anything. Flies. Bzzz, just all over the ceiling. We didn't see them before, but now they're there. We pan back down. Half obscured, mutilated body, and Lindsay with the axe. The sun shining through the window. Lindsay's trashing the room, screaming at the top of her lungs. Cut to black. Black screen. Over it we hear another answering machine message. It's Lindsay's mother. She replies, "Oh, it's okay, darling, it's okay. We're going to come over this evening. We can't bring the 15-year-old brother. He already had prior commitments, but we're bringing the 11-year-old, and your father's coming too. And we love you so much, and we're so sorry for the pain we've caused you," and yada, yada, yada. Black screen opens up. The car pulls up. We see the front of the house, Lindsay's house, technically Randy Stokes' house. The little suburban family climbs out of the car, goes walking up to the door, sort of talking to themselves. The professor father, the housewife mother, and their little 11-year-old son, who likes art. Ding dong. Ding dong. Gee, she must be asleep or something. Try knocking on the door. Actually, the second time knocking on the door, he realizes that it's unlocked. Just opens it up, but it's kind of like, oh, should we walk in there? Lindsay! It's dark inside. Maybe she's asleep. Her father pulls out his cell phone, dials her number. They hear the ringtone from upstairs. The father, somewhat carefully, steps into the house. He walks his way up the staircase. The mother kind of half follows. She's keeping her eye on her kids. She's getting kind of worried. This is a little sketchy, but they're not sure if they should be in panic mode yet. The father goes up and realizes that the ringing, which is on full blast, is coming from the room with all of the portraits, as he discovers as he walks in there, the destroyed portraits. And he finds that the cell phone is just sort of discarded in the center of the room. And he approaches it. And as he stoops to pick it up, we see from a shot over his shoulder the door get pushed, silently close. Lindsay was standing behind the door. She has the axe. It's stained with blood. She locks the door. Cut. We hear the father scream. The mother screams in response. The son screams a little bit. The mother runs up to the door, tries to open it. It's locked. It's bolted shut. She bangs on it. She can hear her husband scream from inside. She hears most terrible noises. She looks down at her son. She says, "Son, get out of the house now. Run to the car as fast as you can. Get into the car, lock the doors, and hide under the seats or something until we can come to you. I don't want you in this house. Please run, go. I need to get your father out of there," or whatever's going on. She's panicking like crazy. She's looking for something, grabbing a piece of furniture. Maybe she can slam against the door. And the younger brother, the 11-year-old, he runs down the steps. He opens up the door. He runs outside. He doesn't really understand what's going on. He runs over towards the car, but which is parked a little bit away on the driveway. He's running over to it. He's about to open up the door, but we can see the window to the room where the paintings are. It's up on maybe the second story. The window opens up, and maybe we see a shot of Lindsay from inside as her head kind of comes up, and she hears through the door what her mother says, and she looks over towards the window, opens it up. There's flies everywhere. We see a shot from the 11-year-old boy is facing us. Over his shoulder, we can see a little bit in the distance in the background as the window opens up, and Lindsay crawls her way through it, lowers herself down onto the ground. She's got the axe with her, and she starts running after him. He doesn't have the energy or the time to scream, which he might do. He realizes that she's got an axe, and thinking quickly, he doesn't want to get inside of the car, or even if he does in the scene, then she's just going to shatter one of the windows and he's going to get running. So he just goes taking off running as fast as he can down the driveway, and she's just over his head. It's all one long shot, and she's running like from The Shining. She's got the axe. She doesn't call out his name because she doesn't want to alert the mother in there, and he doesn't think to scream. He should have screamed. Maybe if he screamed, things would be a little bit different. The mother is in there, and she does call the police for her father. Heading for the tree line. She reaches into her pocket as she's running. She pulls out the gun that her aunt had. She kept it. Bang! Misses. Hits the ground near the kid. Bang! Misses again. He's almost to the tree line. Bang! He somersaults. He's been hit in the leg. He just barely makes it into the tree line. It's sunset. The light is shining through the trees. He's facing the sunlight. She's behind him with the axe. Brother? Brother? He's crawling away. It turns out the bullet only grazed his leg. He's limping into the woods, and he realizes she comes up behind him, but the sun is so bright in between the trees that she suddenly realizes she can't quite see him, and he notices this, and he positions himself as he's backing away as fast as he can into the tree line. It's kind of like a forest because the house is a little bit out of the way. And he manages to position himself so that the sun is always above him, and there's always a straight shot through the tree line, and it hits her eyes so that she can't quite, it just distracts her just a little bit. She's already out of bullets with the gun, and she throws it away to the side. And he's backing away, and he's shouting at her, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" And she's just she starts trying to circle him like a she-wolf, and he keeps on having to position himself so that he's always between her and the sun, so that the sun is always in her eyes. He's trying his best to try to keep maneuvering, and his leg is really starting to throb as he has to lean himself up against these trees, and he's already grabbed as big a branch as he can find, and he doesn't have time to break off a tip. He's just got it sticking there. It's almost like a stick with an antler on the end of it, but it's sharp at the end. You could poke your eye out with it. And he's backing away, and he's leaned up against the tree, and he's like, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" And she's trying to distract him, and she starts saying, "It's for your sins. Yeah, it's for your sins. It's for all of your sins. You really like the anime, don't you? You really love art, don't you? I know why you love art." You love art because of all the naked ladies, right? You like all the naked ladies. You're a bad boy.